Hey everyone, Miacidae here, welcome back to Darkest Dungeon. So today on the No Hope Estate, we're going to be going back into the farmstead just to level it up and some of the people up, get some comet shards while getting a decent trinket for the herbalist. The plan here is it gets me some busts, gets me some shards like I said, and I actually don't have a trinket for the herbalist, so while this isn't one of the best ones in my eyes, it's a good utility one. It's a good starter trinket for the herbalist, and like I said, I don't have one for them. So we're just going to have some fun on the farmstead today. I figure it's a easy-ish one because I only have to go through 60% of the room battles. Thankfully, since Slime reworked how Farmstead Plus works, I don't have to go through too much of it. I'll get into why I only want to do about 60% of it later, just in case. So we're going to be going in with a damager bleeding team with some shenanigans in it. We'll get to the shenanigans in a bit too. Front row is going to be Michael. He's going to mainly be using Valora once again. That way if he gets marked from some of the enemies, he can transfer the mark. If he gets blight, he can transfer the blight. Otherwise, we're going to be using L-Light to lower accuracy, and if he gets really low on damage, he can use Falling Light. And then finally, if someone gets stunned or I want to guard someone, he has the ability to do that as well. For his trinkets, we have the Senator's Sigil, which lowers his max HP. However, he still has 32, making him the highest health hero here, even with a minus 30% max HP. The Senator's Sigil also gives him 20% plus blight chance and 100% crit multiplier on Valora, the move we will be using a lot of. And then because this team has a lot of blight on it, I threw Maciek's head on him. This gives him a plus debuff chance just in case I use L-Light, and it has the ability to debuff where if I hit someone who is blighted, they get minus 8 dodge. We then have Audrey, the Grave Robber, who will be hitting level 3 this run, pretty much no matter what, because she needs 1 resolve experience. She's gonna be using a different shenanigans based on what I need her to. So we have poison darts on her just for the blight ability. She's gonna be going first, so I'm probably going to be blighting something. However, if I go after Hush or on turn 2 and I've marked someone with Valora, I have Thrown Dagger to do extra damage to someone. I have Lunge to do extra damage versus someone that's blighted. Or, because of the trinkets I have, I may want to use Flashing Daggers. Now the reason I want to do this is it hits rows 2 and 3. Does a little bit of damage to both. However, my trinkets are the Blood Charm. So I do plus damage versus anything that's bleeding, armor piercing versus anything that's bleeding, but I also do a on-hit bleed, and then we have the poisoned skull, so I have plus crit and plus damage versus anything that's blighted, and do an on-hit blight. So Flashing Daggers theoretically could do a 1 for 3 bleed and a 1 for 3 blight on rows 2 and 3 on top of damaging them, and have extra crit and damage on them, making this go from a lower damage to a higher damage move, taking out rows 2 and 3 pretty easily, especially on turn 2, or round 2 rather. Baliol is just going to be Baliol, same way we've been using him. Ambush to usually Poison Knife to one of the finishers. We of course have Zanzil's Altered Mixture just because this is like one of his best trinkets, and since I can blight things in here, this ups his blight amount by up to 100%, 25% per combo point. He gets up to 4 combo points. At the max it's 100%, meaning once again Poison Knife goes up to 6 for 3 blight. Then on range attack hit, which is, Poison Knife or Fan of Knives, any other enemy will get a 2 for 3 blight, but at max combo points that's a 4 for 3 blight. Then just the Bloodlust Brooch for plus accuracy and to get the combo points faster. He will also be hitting level 4 because he needs 2 resolve experience, which even an apprentice will get. Actually, based on the dungeon we're doing, I'm pretty sure longs are going to give 4. So Michael should also be hitting level 3, which is going to set 3 people up here into veterans. And then finally, our Estranged. We're mainly going to be using Pierce Earth for the more damage here. This hits rows 3 and 4, pulls them. And then after we use Pierce Earth, we're going to be using Twisting Arrows because this can hit any row. Also debuffs their speed and dodge. If we somehow get ambushed or Belcott, the Estranged, gets into rows 2 or 3, we have Stinger Skewer to move back. She's going to have the Ancestor's Candle that we got back from the Shrieker. Because the light in the farmstead is always at 100, this will never fall below 50 torch. She always gets the plus 15 damage and 10 dodge. And then because everyone else basically is doing Blight for her, we have the Blightling Respirator. So this gets plus 15 accuracy and plus 20% damage versus Blighted. So she will be doing a considerable amount of extra damage. Now I did see I didn't level up some skills here, so I wanted to double check everything. And we'll be off. Now it's worth mentioning I might have forgotten some provisions. I might play like junk today. I might be forgetting some stuff. And that might go on for like, or it might be a little spacey. And that might be going on for like, next week, I'd say, maybe 2 weeks at most. And, oh, fight already, cultists. Let's see what flashing daggers will do here really quick. So 5 to 8, decent crit rate. And then we get those 2, but if I did poison dart, I'd still get the effects on one of them. And we'll do flashing daggers. And I missed one still, with like a 90-some% chance to hit. That's lovely. The reason for that, though, as I was saying, is the doctors are changing how some of my long-term meds are working. I've been on since I was 15 for like some gut health stuff. Really, Michael went before Baliol. Really was not expecting that, considering I thought he would be going first with... Why does he have 5? Still. Okay, whatever. Gonna pass that for now. Gut health stuff, which, just due to how it works, every time you change doses, it kind of changes how your energy works, and if you go down on the doses, because you're not supposed to be on this long term like I have, it really affects more than just energy, but basically, press this advantage. I might be a bit... Give them no quarter. What's the correct term? Spacey. Forgetful, because it affects a lot of different stuff, like adrenal glands and stuff like that. So, just heads up that might be going on for like next week while we're changing dose on that. And hopefully it goes alright. Because technically this is med you're supposed to be on for like a month. And I've been on it for 15 years. 16 years. 16 years. Just because they haven't found a good replacement until recently. And then getting off of it in the long term sucks. So it is what it is, but the more you know. Alright, so going up. We'll do this little wing here, then go up to this big section. I know I could probably just do this big section up here, and I could complete it, but we might as well. Less to backtrack just in case this big section doesn't complete it. And this Taskmaster is specifically why Valora may transfer marks. Flashing daggers, that way we can hit the Scarecrow. At least we blighted him. We bled and blighted the Crofter. Oh, he's stonework. Good thing we can catch that. Originally, I want to point this out. Originally, when Cerebral, I think, is the one who put out the It Followed You Home mod, that stonework there wasn't a thing like it is in Black Reliquary, which was how you could tell that the Otekh was a monster that was in the fight. And I thought they said that they weren't going to put that in there but I guess they actually did. So if you see any monster like I know I've only seen a crofter that has changed into the Otekh, but there is one in every region. I believe it's the butler in Crimson Court. It's I think it's the slasher in the Warrens. It might be the rabble in the runes, and I'm not sure what else it is. But if you see anyone with this stonework tag, this is what's going to be the Otekh. So if you want to fight them, leave them for last. If you see this stonework and you do not have what it takes to fight the Otekh, especially that run, or you're not doing well, make sure to take this guy out first. Because otherwise you're going to have a very bad time. I'm trying to think, like, I could probably take him out. I have a lot of blighting stuff, especially with Belial here. Let's do it. So, Pierce Earth, take these two out.
As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
I'm gonna ambush. Let's go for the Taskmaster. Taking him out because he's gonna do the most damage to me. Then it's the Frozen Crofter I need to take out. Because I do want to fight the Otekh this time. He's not gonna be a surprise, at least. Like, I know he's coming.
The horror.
Come here, you big glorious. Three. If I use, I guess we're just gonna hemorrhage to get his combo points. That way I don't poison him down. Withering Denial for the Riposte. I want to see something here. She can only lunge from rank 3. So I can't guard, but knowing I can guard in rank 3 if I need to is good. So if I would have let him live, get blighted, he probably would have gone down. Come on, let's see what we got. Apihr needs to go first. Okay. This fight isn't bad. It's just knowing the targeting. Oh, they hit Hush. At least the Apihr didn't buff the Otekh again. So if I poison knife the Apihr here, it blights down, I believe. 6 blight, everyone else is blighted. Now, let's poison dart, hitting. So this is a blight for 3. A poison skull hit again. So that's a blight for 4. Not going to bleed them, unfortunately, but still, the blight is what's going to do the damage here, I think. Unless I get a crit. Yeah, let's do Thrown Dagger. I was really hoping that blight would take him down, but next turn this Mehkrub goes down. Okay, Twisting Arrows hitting the other Mehkrub. Then I don't even need to Valora it. Okay, so Valora going at the Otekh. Blighted for 7. He is a speedy guy. Okay, so if I poison knife the Mehkrub, I blight everyone else. So he's blighted for 11 now. Everyone else goes down.
Inches.
Twisting arrows hitting the Otekh. And Valora. Next turn he goes down. 14 blight, so he's down to 33 health.
On its own.
And then I can Everscrate him. Lunge, actually. Good dodge, Audrey. And now Everscrate. Whoo! I can tell you, I was not expecting that one.
Or is it merely a trick of the light?
Use up some of that food, maybe. Because that flippin' hurt. Alright, taking the crests. We'll leave that for now. I'm tempted to camp, actually. Because then I can prevent nighttime ambush. I can heal everyone up. I can get more food with Banquet for the eyes.
A spark without kindling is a goal without hope.
Alright. So preventing... Actually... Do I want to do this? Yeah, because this detect traps makes it so I can have anyone do traps and then also not be surprised. Banquet for the eyes, like I said, just to get that food. Doesn't seem like I need to get stressed down at all, so let's do Admirable Poise to get the +2 damage on Michael. And then Acute Sight for the accuracy and the crit. Alright. Let's do this. Nothing I want there. Moving on along. Default party order. Actually, I should just have Hush in the front. Didn't scout that one. Alright. Ooh, treasure, you say? Well, let's do flashing daggers. Let's hit these two. Because that bleeds and blights. Ouchie. Maybe should have hung on to that heal. There's our bandage. Valora hit the treasure. I had a 75% chance to hit the bugger.
Another one falls.
Okay, that pulls him forward. Hush can ambush. Really? Flashing daggers actually takes him out if it hits, so just Crackshot left. Poison knife and we win.
Back to the pit.
Alright, Enthralled Teru Bozu. On attack hit, debuff target for crits received. On crit mark target for the practitioner. There is a very good use there. You know, I should have used the torch on the, Otekh there. Do I want the emeralds? Let's do that. Now, I should probably take the minor antiques. They're worth more than the gold stack. I just feel bad leaving this stuff. But realistically, if I get through any of this, most of this is going to be more worthwhile. Like 2 more emeralds and that's worth more than a gold stack. So, alright. I can find more food pretty easily in here, so let's go. Yeah, I might actually find food in that dresser. Chicken really needs to go. It's a stunning vine, though. Ooh. I can blight it. You know, let's just blight these two. Then I can take out the crystalline vine. Really thought I would. Ambush on the hen. Valor on hen. Because if I take out the vine, it's gonna lay an egg.
Destroyed.
So I might get stunned from said vine, but if I leave it alone, it just goes down on its own now. Same with the crofter. So just have to focus on the taskmaster. $18 health left.
Slowly, gently. This is how a life is.
There's Valora. 8 health left. And twisting arrows. Down it goes. There we go. Okay. So more comet shards.
Trifling victory. But a
I need the
victory
busts
nonetheless.
actually, but how do I want to do that? Because I really shouldn't be getting rid of the torches just in case there's anything from the creeping mists here, which I believe can spawn. I really shouldn't be getting rid of the anti-venom or the food. Yeah, realistically, there's nothing here I should get rid of for the busts. Hey, what did I say? Food.
Staunch the flow of otherworldly.
Ah, healing mixture. How I miss you. How I miss healing parties with just like actions and on monster kill. Alright, well, moving on along. We'll see what we can do. I really should have had someone scouting this for me. So I do need to do both of these rooms. But we'll go to the treasure room first. Ah, comet shards. Well, I can at least get them blighted for now. That's a good start. Ambushing on the taskmaster. Pierce Earth. Crofter down. I Veil Aura on Taskmaster. He will probably go down, I'm assuming.
Festering fear consumes the mind.
Valora, yep. it hits and it takes him out like no matter what. So there we go, just these two left. I lunge. Oh, we can't hit row 4 with that. So Throwing Dagger hitting the Frozen Crofter. It blights out. If I do Poison Knife, we hit the Scarecrow. So it's blighted for 4 at least. Pierce Earth is on cooldown, so we can do Scraping Driver to do a bit of health, or damage to it.
Fiend.
It's not much, but it's something. Then Valora finishing it off.
Annihilated. Remind yourself that overconfidence is a slow and insidious
Alright,
killer.
let's reorder people here. Oh, do I really not have room for the crusts? That's a shame. And we will just leave that for now then. Getting set shards. Up to 25. And up to the battle room. Hunger check helps. I'll take it. Chicken and the egg. You don't have to wonder what came first.
The abyss returns.
Although there goes my idea to take them both out in one action. Flashing daggers hitting the chicken and the scarecrow. Valora on eggs. Ambush on eggs.
Decisive pummeling.
Twisting arrows on hen. Now neither of them are a problem. Now I just have this problem.
Gnawing
At least I can hit one of the scarecrows. Lunging it.
thread.
I guess Cloak of Shadows. Twisting Earth to take him down. Or Twisting Arrows. And we got nada. I suppose what I can do.
So too will resistance.
Eat the food, take the crests. And I knew this wouldn't be the 60%, but I didn't want to come back to this section. Or, I didn't want to go to this section backtracking through all of this. This was the better section to backtrack through. Now, what I'm curious about is... I do not have any of my buffs anymore. So it might be worthwhile to do the campfire once we get to the entrance. Just for like stress and health. Hunger check. Ooh. Maybe we hang on to that until we have more food.
Finding the stuff is only the first test. Now it must be carried home.
Coven. Haven't seen them in a hot minute. Alright, well. You bleed, you blight. More damage to the one in back. Valor, the one in the middle. I think he goes down now. Yeah. We'll ambush. Actually, we can just garrote him for once. Just to take him down. So just the one in front left. He's now gonna big iron spam, I think. Twisting arrows. Loses his speed. By a lunge, we might take him out. Nope. Oof. Hemorrhage. At least we got some torches.
These nightmarish creatures
Can use them for like every fight now.
Beaten. Wealth beyond measure, awarded to the brave and the foolhardy alike.
I was really hoping for comet shards out of that, but I suppose it works. That's gonna be a bit of stress. And another one that could be an Otekh. I don't think I want to fight another one. So we will get rid of him. Making sure he goes down. Now, I do want to mention that I'm not sure that every one of those has turned into, like, an enemy. Every, like, crofter. I don't think every single one of those is an Otekh. I'm gonna have to check that next time I see multiples. Let's just blight him for now. Pierce Earth actually does more damage despite being an AoE. It's a weird move like that. We can Fan of Knives doing more damage. So, Taskmaster down, just Crofter left. Which is a frozen. As long as we take it out before it thaws, I think we're good. So lunging. Now it's kind of interesting.
At least promises success.
Unmodded, I think the Grave Robber is one of my least favorite heroes, but I'm liking them in modded teams. There we go, there's some comet shards. Probably want to get rid of that stress though. Come on, food. Nope. Can get rid of a negative quirk with that. And I definitely want to get rid of these vines with multiple actions. Two of them can bleed, one can blight. So that vine in row 2 goes down. Thankfully, these ones aren't too bad. Really? Why are these being so common? I want to say I don't think that all of them were replaced, but I can't say that for certain.
Foolish horrors.
Okay, that's complete.
Low and driven into the
Fear
mud.
mankind. Okay, Michael, anything you can get rid of, go for it. Perfectionist is good. Alright. Let's see what else we can get in here. Just due to the fact that since we're here, we can get comet shards. Since we're out of Laudanum, though, we're going to get significantly less. Okay, Piercing Earth. Taking out vines. One went down.
Diminished.
I'm gonna ambush on the horse. Audrey can get rid of the vine. Like so.
A time to perform beyond one's limits.
Then Valora. And whatever I do to the horse, it goes down.
Prodigious size alone does not dissuade the sharpened blade.
That's what we wanted. Going up.
Injury and despondence set the stage.
You can get
heroism
damage versus husks.
or cowardice.
So Estranged does a little bit more damage now. I don't have Laudanum for you, however, I think we can get stress down with Audrey. That's just minus horror damage received for one battle. Which might not be the worst thing in the world to stack on her. She can also get the trap to minus some stress. This gas food? No, it makes gold edible.
For a task well performed.
What kind of gold is that? Please tell me what kind of gold this is. Please, please, please indulge me. Ooh, victim's descendant. There we go. He is not stonework. I was just running into a lot of
Now the
them.
true test. Hold fast or expire.
Also, I probably should have peeled. Flashing daggers on these two. Yeah, I deserve that one. I really deserve that one.
More ashes. More disappointment.
Okay, taking out the crofter, but at least now I know that since that happens so many times this round, not all of the crofters are going to be stonework. It was just so many of them. Descendant goes down. And then Doggo goes down. Okay. So we do need to replace Michael eventually. They were pretty important.
Gathered close in tenuous firelight and uneasy companionship.
We'll just do that. We have prevent nighttime ambush. We have stuff to get stress down. There's our supply item, and then let's get out of here. So 47 shards. I did get the lightweight leather for the arbalist, which is going to be somewhat helpful later considering it is a trinket I now have for them. Roughly 15,000 gold and a bunch of heirlooms, which is going to help out. Now, Michael was going to hit level 3 after that, but unfortunately he did go down. Audrey and Belial hit level 3. Belcott, next time she goes out, probably level 3.
Our family name once so well regarded.
So I can de-stress everyone with that. That might be worth doing. That was a good amount of the shards I just had, but yeah. Okay. So I think I'm going to expand this, the stagecoach,
Word is traveling.
this way.
Stirring in distant cities. We can use this.
I have a better chance of getting the people I am missing right now. The Aesthete is gone, and I know I'm still missing a Jester. I'm not sure what else I'm going to be missing, but they would be nice to get back onto the list. Time Miller is now available for the veterans, which is also cool. I see shenanigans with the red hair. His horse. Ooh, I'm really tempted to go do this. But now also knowing this is a trinket, I see so many shenanigans, especially for this estate. 6 speed, minus 20% damage, but on monster kill gain an extra action. On monster kill debuff self, minus 60% damage until extra round. But hear me out here, it's only minus 60% damage. So if hit monster 1, monster 1 down, monster 2 is at like 2 or 3 health, hit monster 2 down. Now he doesn't have any damage, but he can buff himself for next round. Rinse, repeat. He's on a marking party, so people can set him up. I see shenanigans. I want to go get it. So, there's no good trinkets otherwise. I don't know. I'm gonna take a very good look at what I have available to me, what I want to level up, and where I want to go from here, because that seems... I could pull off very good things with the Martial Saint if I wanted, and since he's still an apprentice, it would let me get a lot of use out of it if I went to the Time Miller. If I also did that, it would allow me to essentially get practice for the Farmstead version of the Time Miller, which I'm gonna need to do eventually. I know I keep saying I want to get veteran versions of everyone, but we're already almost there. So quick breaks here and there, not a bad thing to do, especially when they are like trinkets like that, where I see huge potential in them. Or even though I see huge potential in them, they could just be like, maybe it's not it, but it's good to figure that out early. So maybe that's what we'll do next time. Like I said, I'm going to see what I can do. My brain might just be fried because reasons stated earlier. Oh, looking down on the list, we do have another Aesthete. That's really cool. Now I don't have to wait to find another one. We can just level up Corbin. Good things happen when I ramble. Anyway, so that's probably going to be the plan. I'm not sure what I'm going to go put into that, but I'll figure something out. And we'll have fun and go from there. That's going to be it for this time. Like, comment, subscribe, all that YouTube jazz. And otherwise, as always, I'll wish you all well. I'll see you next time, and please, have a good one.